The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
Hear the words you say sometimes? I mean, who talks like that?
98 KUPD.
And through this is a fast morning already. Good Lord, this is going quick, and it's just already time for that Brady report of Brady's. I got peanuts in the teeth here. Hang on.
Peanut M&Ms.
Wow. The peanuts stuck. God, those are good. I did something dumb yesterday. I'm standing in front of that vending machine. Got my phone, because I pay with that. It gives the blip now, which is the greatest thing in the world. It just reads your phone and takes it out of your account. I don't know how it works. I'm sure I'm getting hacked somewhere. And kind of went into a mind fart, and it gives you it beeps when it's ready for you to put your order in. And I put my passcode in for my phone instead. I ended up getting Takis. I don't like Takis. I was going for peanut M&Ms, but I put in, instead of the 141 for the peanut M&Ms, I just dialed in my passcode that breaks through my phone. So I just kept hitting buttons. There's 6 numbers. It just goes boop, 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 and then there's no more beeping. I'm like, what did I just do? I got Takis is what I did. Garbage.
Should leave them on the table.
Promo kids. I bought them on the table. Beeped again and got M&Ms. And I'm like, that's my mistake. And then the guy behind me goes, put him in a straitjacket, put him in a hospital. Guy said, you realize that Terry Bradshaw and Chris Rock are the same voice, right? I'm like, yeah, we've talked about that before. A lot of them are twofers. A lot of them are. Put them in a straitjacket. It's time now for Brady to give you all the news that only Brady knows. It's brought to you by our friends at Hooters and Bud Light. Four Peaks Holmberg Bound IPA is at Hooters. I'm wearing the shirt today. Didn't even realize that until about 10 minutes ago. A portion of the proceeds, of course, from every brew donated to the Arizona Humane Society. And the Holmberg Bound IPA is at Hooters. It's at Four Peaks. It's available now. It's fast. There's a little bit left, some left. Lady was emailing me that she had some every day that she was in town while she Alvina.
Yep.
So I was here all the time trying to get as much as I can while I'm in town. Try it today at Hooters right now and then say, hey, Hooters, thanks for this Brady report. Brady reported.
Good Thursday morning to you, Phoenix. Hello, world.
Hi.
Happy National Take Down Your Christmas Tree Day.
Yeah, it was a few days late.
Yeah, I already did that.
Day after New Year's.
We were 2 or 3 days after, but yeah, she was like, let's get it down.
Get it down.
Lights are coming down Saturday.
You still have your lights up? See, yeah. I have somebody bringing, the light company comes and does that. And TikTok boys, let's go.
But you're not still lighting it, are you?
Yeah.
You're still lighting it? Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of hillbilly.
Yeah.
You turn the lights off.
12 days of Christmas.
No, Brady, that's new. I know. That's
starting a new tradition.
That's like you with the Alsatian thing. Well, then make it the 12 months of Christmas. Yeah,
some of those houses they've gotten those permanent lighting deal
so
where they
dumb.
can change their color scheme throughout the year.
How much do you want your house lit up for Valentine's Day? There's a lady in my neighborhood that has a Valentine's tree. I told you about that.
Yeah.
And they're trying to put a tree up for every single thing. Like a Valentine's tree.
Got a couple of baseless fun facts. Some cats seem unusually interested in melons and certain fruit.
Oh, yeah.
It's because the fruit contains an amino acid that smells like meat to them.
Really?
Yep.
Some cat finally wrote a note or let us know that?
I guess so.
Huh. I have a cat that likes fruit. You know what else she likes? Feta cheese. She's real picky. But if you've got feta, oh, my goodness. She just sits and stares at you.
Meow. We can't get Adam Mittens out of Kiva's bowl when that food goes in there.
Likes the dog food.
Yeah.
And no kidding. That cat is a
Kiva,
bogan.
It moves Kiva out of the way.
Yeah, that is a bogan cat.
Out of the way there, Chief. Meow, meow. This one's mine now, meow. That's right, dog, meow. This is my food now, meow.
It is a third dog.
Yeah. Well, he's eating the kibble.
Google sees the biggest spike in people searching for hangover cures on January 1st. The second biggest day for
Hangover cures.
Yeah.
Election day.
You're close. It's November 1st.
No kidding. So after Halloween, so
Bingo.
everybody's boozing and
Yep.
well, you got a hangover because you're sugar bombed. Hangovers are caused by
comboing
sugary
up.
drinks. You got
Yeah.
sugar and drinking.
Yep.
Alcohol and sugar together is what causes. That's why I switched to vodka and soda. You have to really go nuts drinking that stuff to get a hangover. Had some champagne. Oh,
Yeah, that killed me on New Year's. And I only had one of those little bottles. I'm like, no, I'm out.
Bomb headache the next morning. Just crushed. Margaritas, headaches, the hangovers from sugar drinks are the worst. Do like an alcoholic does. That's why all alcoholics end up switching to vodka. Doesn't smell bad, and it doesn't give you crazy hangover. It's good stuff. You can hide it in your work. You can drink at work, and nobody really knows, as long as you moderate. You don't know. I've been drinking last hour. You think that's Diet Coke in there? It's a mix.
The CIA had to approve every episode of the FX show, The Americans.
So they didn't
It was
spill
about
any
the
secrets?
Russian spies.
Oh, I like those moments where you could stumble across something. And then when they tell you got to take it out, then you know you've stumbled across something.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So because the
They
writers...
always said that about Clancy Brown, I think.
Well, Tim Clancy.
Tim Clancy.
Not Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah. The toughest screw at Shawshank?
And also from SpongeBob.
That's right.
The voice of...
Is he Mr. Krabs?
no, he's the tiny Plankton.
Oh, he's Plankton. Is he
Yeah.
Plankton? Clancy Brown does Plankton?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's a great... Yeah, is that right?
I think so. Maybe he is Mr. Krabs.
I don't know. You're the one with all the info.
It was his birthday yesterday. Clancy.
Did you read up on him a little?
Well, they didn't list that on there. They just said
Well, maybe
the,
it's not true. Maybe you're wrong.
No, that's why I looked it up, and I
that's
might be wrong about the character, but he's the
He's on SpongeBob.
yeah, he's either Plankton or Krabs.
Okay. Thanks for this circle of nonsense.
Sleep better tonight.
No kidding. If you got a fact, spew it. Otherwise, don't.
Clancy Brown does something for SpongeBob. I'm going to throw this at you, and then I'm going to backtrack. He's Plankton, maybe.
Yeah, Clancy's there.
What is he?
He's voiced by Clancy Brown.
Plankton. All right,
Yes.
there you go. Be a bit more confident with your stats.
I
Brady.
know. This was a pretty good Christmas gift this guy did to his wife. Gave her 2 sets of earrings, matching sets, and she had to choose between the two. One were real, and the other were fake.
He had exact replica.
And it said, whatever one you don't pick, I'll take back, and you
Right.
keep those.
She picked it. Oops.
Pick the fake. Now, whether or not
It's like that Millionaire show.
It is.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
basically said that you ladies can't tell the difference.
Yeah, because
Which
she
is-
went around the room and everyone
Yeah.
got an opinion from, it looked like maybe her brother or
I
something.
read the story, too, because the guy kind of stayed hands off. Like, you do whatever it takes for you to get this figured out in this room.
Yeah.
And the one that you don't choose by, I'll take back. But here, one is real and one is not. And he said, you go nuts. And she's asking people, what do you think? And I'm testing it, and they're trying to cut things. And what? He said, I'm going to take these. And she's like, all right, thanks. And he took back the really expensive. But she had no idea. I know a guy who got his wife cubic zirconia diamond, and she was happy with it.
Yeah.
Because it was beautiful, and it was bigger than what she was going to get if it was a diamond. So her ring looks incredible.
And
I
most
wonder
of the
half
time,
the time
people would ever question it.
Nobody's going to
Depends.
say that. Is that
Unless,
fake? No one says that. Even women don't say that about purses. Like, there's a lot of purses that are like $4,000, and they get the knockoffs because they wouldn't be able to have it otherwise. And it looks exactly the same.
But those catty broads in their little knitting circles will call somebody out about that. Though.
Still
Every
knitting
once in a while.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so sexist. I love it. You know those catty broads knitting all day long? That's what they do. And they would rat each other out if
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them knew.
Yeah.
But if because that's the
Most of
problem.
them can't tell.
Girls can't.
No.
They wouldn't know unless the girl told her it's cubic zirconium or I would. But I wonder how many of those giant rings you see and you're like, look at the rock on that chick's hand. And, you know, you assume the dude's got tons of money or whatever. It's just a fake rock. $30,000 millionaire girl. We drive around in cars we can't afford, and they walk around with rocks on their fingers that make them look like they, you know, own the Wrigley Mansion. And deep down, they're just a couple of showboaters.
Little follow-up story from that I-95 traffic jam in Virginia. This guy Andrew Peters flew from San Francisco to D.C. on Monday, ordered an Uber from the airport.
Oh,
Did the traffic jam.
how much?
It was a $200 original charge,
Right.
$600.
Does he have to pay it?
As of right now, yeah.
There's nothing in the fine print of Uber that says,
Terms and conditions say your fare can change if your trip takes longer than expected.
That's a dick move on Uber's
yeah,
part.
it is. Because, like, what if the driver has something happen and he pulls off the side of the road and you guys get, like, misery? Like, let's say you're on a snowy road and misery and it rolls down the hill and stuff, and you're in there for, like, days until Kathy Bates finds you. Does he still bill you for the 3 days you were laying down in the snow?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. Uber doesn't have fine print that says, hey, circumstances.
They have that in there and make sure the drivers don't get screwed. But I think then
Everybody got screwed.
maybe Uber makes an exception here.
But now that's a news story, I'm sure. I wonder if he was the only Uber guy there.
Couldn't be.
Had to be a bunch of
Yeah.
Ubers on there, right? And 22 hours of sitting on that freeway. It's kind of call it a traffic jam. Those let up.
The dating app, Woo Date, asked people how their dates and meetups have been recently. The results are down. 55% of people said their dating lives are worse than they were before the pandemic. It's pretty
Well, yeah.
easy to figure out. But they're saying, how many dates are you going on average overall? You go on basically 3 dates a month
That's what daters do.
right now in the state where if
That's pretty
before the
good.
pandemic, I thought so too. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
What was it before that, did they say?
it was a little over 4.
Oh, so it
So
was
it's not
one and a half
But if
months.
you're taking the percentage,
So you dropped a date a month. You saved yourself $100. By the way, and Jay brought this up yesterday at Tactical Black Stuff. What happened in that traffic jam to the electric cars? Like, could they hold that charge that long? Like, would a Tesla or one of those cars
just
you gotta
sitting there?
plug
Does
in?
the battery? Yeah, how long does it take to
I don't know.
just
the
not? If
battery's
you're not
freezing, or-
using it, well, you're probably.
You're probably
I guess
using
you use
it.
the
like,
heater
you
and
gotta
stuff
use the
like
heater,
that.
right? I would assume that it's gonna. You're draining something.
Yeah, and doesn't I don't know if they're designed. I know sometimes when you're running them, it helps them last longer.
Yeah, but the battery,
'Cause
like
it
in a Tesla.
regenerates.
But in a Tesla, I don't think it does. I think
No,
it's
that's kinetic energy.
those are
That's
hybrids.
different.
Hybrids will,
Yeah.
run on gas and
Yeah, that
charge up.
They'll charge themselves
Yeah.
by running. It's like what is that thing that you could start your car when the battery was dead? The alternator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Would charge itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least motivate itself to keep going. I don't know. It's
That's
next
a
to
good
the
question.
calculator, and yeah, I don't know what happened with the Tesla.
a good question. I didn't think
It
about
was
that.
snowing. It was like 4 degrees, and so they had to have heat. So it's draining the battery somehow. That's just not
Yeah.
working.
Here's a job opportunity for 3 people. Planters is looking for 3 drivers to drive the Nutmobile around the country. The job starts in July. You will have to commit to a full year of driving the Nutmobile around the town. And the job involves planning events at different stops around the country, performing in character. That means you will suit up as
Oh, you're suiting up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're suiting up, Antonio Brown. You're putting the clothes on. You're playing the game.
It's not clear how much the gig pays, but it's 40 hours a week. It's a full-time job. You'll get to see the United States.
So if you get pissed off, you throw your top hat and monocle
Yeah.
up and walk out.
That's it. You dance out.
He's nuts.
If you want to check it out, you submit a 30-second video explaining why you're a good fit to be this is the website, beapeanutter.com.
Okay. No, I've got a job. That's pathetic. I'd rather be an Instagram model than run around as the peanut man. By the way, a guy just emailed me and said, I'm driving, so I did this fast. I used a jewelry store, and we would make what we called mugger rings for the ladies that had big 3-carat cubic zirconia rings. So if they got mugged, they wouldn't mind handing the ring off, which is smart.
It's smart, but then what the hell's the idea of having the big 3-carat sitting at the house?
You're
You can't ever
attracting.
wear it.
Yeah, exactly. You got the fake one
Yeah.
and then the exact same thing that you wear out.
Right. I mean, it's a good idea, but
I guess
still.
it would make sense if
When
you're
you
gonna,
travel,
Yeah, maybe that.
I know that's, they recommend, if you
You
don't
have
have
a
to wear your
backup ring?
wedding ring if you're going overseas.
Who told
Don't
you
bring
that?
it.
What kind of player told you that? That's smoking.
That's recommended by
If you go over to Italy, don't wear the wedding ring, especially your wife. Huh?
a
Have
lot of
look around.
jewelry. Yeah.
Really? They told you not to wear your wedding ring?
Yeah, for the women, for sure.
Really? Where were you going?
Spain,
Harlem,
France. Most of the time, if you're traveling
Spanish
overseas.
Harlem.
yeah,
There's a lot of
Spanish
different
Harlem.
grifting opportunities in the base. Even
But I'm just saying,
Paris,
then
but
don't wear it here.
you go over there and you.
I mean,
buy the
how
jewelry, too.
seriously flawed is the thinking of, well, we're going overseas, better not wear that wedding ring in the city. And you live
That's
here.
why they tell you to wear, the money belts and all that stuff. Like,
But you live here.
I know.
Can happen in any city.
Right. You'd think there'd be more opportunities, but they're saying it depends on where you're going to.
You're going to wander around in, like, troubled neighborhoods the entire time? So, that's how American Zionistic that thing is. If you go to another country, hide your valuables. They're all swarthy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you walk around our city
Southern
every day.
Italy.
Come on.
Sicily.
That's silly. Oh,
They're like a
Sicily doesn't count.
lot of gypsies.
There's gypsies here.
I know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like this American, like we can't wear our valuables anywhere but here. I wouldn't wear valuables here if I was worried about them being
No,
stolen.
especially we were
Chances
talking
of it
about
happening
New
here.
York.
Oh my God, never.
Earlier.
Yeah, now it's like a misdemeanor to
Armed robbery.
gun on somebody in New York. Come on, if somebody told you that is you were talking to a bougie rich person that said if you go overseas, by God, take off your wedding rings. Really? What about here in Phoenix?
that
No,
10
they're
carat-
totally safe here.
That headlight that your wife's wearing.
Right. It's not attractive to people here in the United States because we don't have that kind of crime. Got it just as much as anywhere else. That's a bougie thing.
They'll
to
say it too in New York.
Nobody's ever said when you go to New York, take off your wedding ring.
Don't wear your Rolex.
Probably do now.
Well, yeah. Well, if you know better, but come on, nobody's ever told you if you're traveling to, Chicago, like don't forget to take off all your valuables, and you should.
I know plenty that
And bring your gun.
I say plenty. Toledo's laughing. I have a couple of friends that if they go to Chicago or New York and they're watch people, it's like I don't wear my
Right.
Rolex there.
Well, you don't flash your bling.
I'm like, then why'd you get it?
Yeah, you don't flash your bling, but what's the difference? I mean, it's almost, I don't know if it's bigotry or racism or what it is, but to say that other countries are that
Right.
dangerous and we're so safe. And I'll wear my Rolex all over here. There's no chance of that. It's a comfort thing. Those swarthy POCs walking around, you don't keep your wedding ring on. Oh, that's terrible.
You sent this little story about the Pope yesterday. He came out.
This guy.
And,
Don't get me started.
was basically doing a quality Catholic guilt story, saying if you're a young couple married right now, and you're choosing to adopt pets over kids, that's
Yeah. You're the Pope.
You're not being kind.
He's saying that if you're trying to sugarfoot this thing, he's basically saying you're selfish and awful if you choose pets over children in life. If you don't have kids and you have pets, you're a selfish jerk. And if you can't have kids and you get pets to replace them, you should have adopted kids because you're a selfish jerk. And I say the Catholic Church is in no position whatsoever to say, hey, everybody, why don't you bring more kids around us? Go yourself, Pope. First off, I'm a dog lover. Second, you guys can't mention kids ever again because you ran a 1,000-year-old kid effing ring. So I don't want to hear the Pope talking about, what are all the kids? What are you guys doing? Bring on some more children. I know it's the antiquated way of saying more Catholics. We need more money.
Bodies. We need money.
Because we're losing the youth. So if the Catholics start breeding more babies, chances are they'll raise them Catholic, and we'll get more cash.
The one thing that
What
you
a
didn't
piece of garbage.
mention that for me that kind of bothers me a little bit
I
about
hate
the
the
message
Pope.
is he said sometimes couples will have one kid and that's it, but then they have dogs and cats to take the place of children. This may make people laugh, but it's not. It's a reality. You need to have more kids.
Hey,
but we're coming from a guy that says I ain't having kids.
Can't have kids. Yeah. Hey, hard. The whole thing's
and
built
all my
around you
buddies
not
that are
having.
telling you not
Yeah.
to have all the kids you want, but I'm
Right.
not going to have.
He can't. He's married to Jesus
Yeah.
or something. I don't know how it works. That Pope's an idiot. And that's the dumbest thing. And plus, you're not supposed to judge it. And again, Catholic Church, you are not allowed to mention kids again.
He says
Off limits.
Having a child is always at risk.
Yeah,
Always
with you
at risk.
around.
But there is more risk not having a child.
No, there's not.
You know what his examples are? Crazy cat ladies and couples with fur babies.
He's a judgy prick.
He
This
goes, are
Pope's
frequently
awful.
trolled on social media.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like this Pope at all. Telling everybody, you shouldn't have dogs, you should have kids. From a guy in a dress who won't have kids. F you. Pets are so much better. And second, again, I repeat, it's like OJ saying this is a good knife. I don't want to hear the Catholic Church talking about children and bringing more towards them. In fact, I'll be the Pope of saying, don't bring your kids anywhere near that place. They may act like it's all solved, but it's been going on since the 1200s.
Well,
they rape kids.
Just say we've been doling out a bunch of checks lately.
Right, we need more
We
kids.
need money.
Well,
Don't
also, this particular generation has wised up and said, don't bring your kids around the dudes in dresses. And they're like, hey, what happened to all the kids?
that well's dried up.
Hey, let's start over, huh? We're all clean. You guys aren't bringing us any new blood.
Well, that's just it. They want you to have more kids. They got to increase the herd.
Absolutely.
Replenish.
The other thing that we're missing.
I haven't
not only
fingered the kid in almost 5 years. So bring me some more children.
Sounds so bad.
Yeah, don't bring up kids.
Plus, on top of that, they fill the collection plates eventually.
Yeah.
Because it's money.
Keep out of the kids' circle for a
Business.
while.
Yeah, just don't bring up kids again for years. How about we balance that with, let's see, it's been about 1,000 years you've been banging kids. Most recently, you've kind of gone, all right. We'll stop. You can't mention kids.
You want a moneymaker?
How about
Start
this?
marrying the gays.
How about this?
Let them in the church.
1,000 years of not bringing kids to the conversation again. Let's balance it out. 1,000 years of you guys banging kids. You got to go 1,000 without banging them before you can start talking about kids again. So you've got till 3122 to talk about kids, and
you know
then
what you'll hear? No deal.
no deal. Why you are like an old crazy cat man. You don't have any children. I know he's not Italian, but he lives there now, so he's an idiot. This guy coming out yesterday with that and talking about crazy cat ladies, and I thought you were supposed to be non-judgmental. I don't like a pets. Well, I can't trust an old man in a dress who doesn't like a dog. So you, dumb old Pope. I don't have to like you. I don't believe in anything. I don't revere you in any way at all. The thing you stand for is the most abominable creation ever. Awful child raping ring. Oh, it's disgusting.
Cops in Poland stopped a 45-year-old guy on Tuesday because he wasn't wearing a face mask inside a store. It's mandatory right now in Poland. And while they had him in custody, they realized he was a fugitive. He was wanted for murder. Been on the run for 20 years. Managed to avoid being caught until now. Face mask.
No, what?
He didn't want to wear a face mask. And he gets caught for...
He dug his heels in on that?
Yeah.
Dummy. He should have been all for disguises. By the way, Brady, Beerus says, hey, he lives in Italy. Do you think Brady's friends would tell the Pope not to wear his real rings outside? That's a good point. Why don't
he's okay.
Put
he
on
can wear
the,
all the bling. He's got an entourage.
Put on the mugger ring, Pope.
He's got the fakies.
Is this the cubic one? I like to finger the kids with the cubics on. I don't like to get the poopy all over the real gems.
Oh,
hey, that's dead. Don't get mad at me. I like my jewels to stay clean. I throw away the cubic ones with all the child, the blood, and the poopy. It's not me. You get mad at me all you want. You should be aiming your anger at the thing you're worshiping.
I'm mad at you because that's not true. They would never keep their rings on.
They wouldn't keep their rings on. You're right. They don't want to get mugged by that kid that they're raping.
Or you'd have to give them the ring.
Yeah.
Tell no one.
Father Dale never had rings on. Walking around in that dress. Hanging around Dobson High School. He didn't like kids. He liked teens. He wasn't a pedo. He was a child molester. He loved them teen boys.
He was kind of a cuck, wasn't he, too?
He liked watching, evidently. That's what came out in court.
That's what I thought most of the,
That's what came out in
testimony.
court. No, Father Dale just like to sit there and go, get him, get him. That's what he did, Brady.
The Pope telling people to adopt more kids is like Michael Vick telling people to adopt more
exactly.
dogs.
I'm not
Good
for
call,
that
Billy.
either. Michael Vick is like a dogist. I'm like, no, just step away from the arena. It's like he does stuff for the Humane Society and all that. No, stop what you're doing. Give some money, but quietly. Like they had him speak at a. I'm totally against that. Michael Vick, no. Reformed by force is different than, and that's the same thing the Catholic Church did. They were reformed by force. They got caught and then changed. They had no intention of being better.
They're still reforming.
My fingers, they haven't smelled like a child's bottom for almost 70 years. Hey, go have more, Brett. How many dogs do you have? 2? You selfish bastard. Bring me a child.
This just in from the Boy Scouts. Have more kids.
The Boy Scouts. Yeah. Another one that can't say that. And they're a kids group. That thing needs to shut down, too. Boy Scouts are great. I know. At least change the name. I've been begging the church to do it. I think the Boy Scouts are the same. At the very least, PR campaign to rebrand.
Oh, we just got an update on the report. Uber's already refunded that guy.
Oh,
nice. Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah,
Good.
Just got the update.
There's a lady in California named Kitten Sarah. She loves the color pink so much. She went to Vegas last week and went to the little white wedding chapel and married the color pink. It's the first time anyone's
That's adorable.
officially married a color.
Jesus.
And it all happened because some punk kid on a skateboard came up to her in the neighborhood because she always wears pink. And she said this.
You love it so much, why don't you marry it?
Yeah.
And she did.
Yep.
And this is a news story.
Yep. Big news.
Slow day yesterday.
This guy says, Pope Dickface. I love the comparison to OJ saying this is a good knife. As soon as you said it, I heard him talking about that. How about if you're OJ's friend and he's like on Twitter and stuff, and it's like, Rick says preferences. Blonde. I'm like, no, OJ, we're done with those. You've seen with a blonde woman again because it just brings up a lot of bad imagery to a lot of people. If OJ was arm around some blonde, you'd be like, uh-oh, she's doomed. Stick to brunettes and redheads from here on out, OJ. I like the blonde ones. You ruined that. You can't prefer blondes anymore. Well, that's what a gentleman prefers. But you're not a gentleman. You know what I miss? When the people are bringing their kids to us. Remember when the Pope smacked that lady? This dude's been getting away with it for a while.
Was that Francis?
Yeah, it's this dude. Here, he gave a smack to that lady. And didn't he smack a baby, too? He hit a kid. He's punchy. This guy's got a hair trigger. But he was nice about gays, so everybody's like, he's the cool new pope. I'm like, this dude's cool? What was the other pope like? Don't have pets anymore. You got me started, Brady. Yesterday I read that, and I'm like, this judgy prick. Screw you,
Well, it
Pope.
just, he passed. Oh, well, there's a reason why you want more kids.
I know, but
more troops.
They're not allowed to talk about it. We know the reason. No, Brady, that's not it. That's your reason. The reason why is because they haven't fingered a kid in a long time, and they're dying to get back in the kitty. Got it. The kinder.
And we love
the
the
kinder's
kids.
not there.
Yeah,
We want to bang more kids. The other side is they've got plenty of money. They'd like more. They do. They've got $1 billion in art they could sell. They're fine.
They're trying to get rid of. They're hoping that all the rest of the assets can cover everything.
They're good.
There's still a lot of check writing to do.
Yeah, and they're never batting an eye, not flinching at all. Oh, I hate that Pope.
I got a couple of quick radio videos.
All right.
First one's from the drunk people doing things. Instagram.
This guy says he's asking people to adopt kids because adopted kids are the cubic zirconium of real children. Less likely to get reported if they get diddled. It's true. They're the mugger kid. They're the one that if they get diddled, they're like, hey, it's still better than the orphanage. I'm not saying a thing. They're least likely to report. That's Key Custer. You're a horrible person, but you're probably right. All right. Sorry, Brady. Go ahead.
This is a lady getting out of the car, and she gets rid of some of her colostomy
is that
bag.
her colostomy bag?
Yes.
Oh,
It just smacks it outside.
like it's a bag of ice she's trying to break up.
It's a urine balloon.
Oh, and it blew up right
What
there.
kind of hillbilly? Oh,
Where in Indiana did this happen?
Look at the twirl.
That is a full bag she's
just
toting,
like Roger
too.
Daltrey swinging
Yeah.
his microphone.
Won't get fooled again.
Okay, then.
The guy filming it. How did he know she was getting out of there with that giant sack of pee?
The last one's a little wild world.
Oh, God.
I think this
Well,
is
then do it right.
Okay. Hello, my friends. I'm Brady Bogan, and this is your Wild Wild World radio video. Again, if you're going to go to Africa and you want to observe the gorillas, because, Jane Goodall started...
She was big on that.
and
Yeah.
she's got a couple of rescue areas where you actually go out there and watch them. The dangers of how powerful a silverback...
Okay, this
Male
is a gorilla
silverback, yeah.
getting too close to the
Oh,
people. Just hanging around. They're in their little perch
There's
with
the
cameras.
Kid.
Oh,
Here's the
Jesus,
silverback.
that's-
Now, watch how leisure he does. Just takes the guide with him.
Is that a man?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like it was a stick.
He just moved him effortlessly. That African is horrified right now. Look at his face. You lay here now. I thought the kid was the big one, and then that thing rolls up.
Watch how effortless it is. Just, I'm taking
Go
this.
with me, pal. Did you see the Leslie Stahl walking around there a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago on 60 Minutes, and she's talking to him, and the one comes up and waves, and it's like, hey, how you doing? He's used to the guides
Yep.
and the girl friendly and stuff.
Would you do it?
Walk around with Leslie Stahl? Sure.
No, but would you go?
Oh, the
to
gorillas? No,
Yeah.
because you know why? It's in Africa. I'm not going to Africa. That's crazy. You know how many shots you have to get? You think you're vaccinated now?
I mean, if you're over and above, and you
hanging out with
would you
wild
set up-
gorillas?
yeah.
No, I got no interest in that.
Here's one of
You would just walk around in gorilla territory. That's how.
I
you're
don't
gonna
know if
think
I
you're an
would or
idiot.
not.
That's dumb. You would go like what? So what are you asking me? Like what would you do?
That's why I asked you first. I'm on
To
the
see what I
fence
would
on
do?
it.
Well, that's not surprising.
Part of me thought, oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to go. Like Bearzona is as far as you'll go because you're in a car still. But I'm not getting out walking around and like if somebody said there's a bunch of grizzlies here, I'm like, oh, cool, I'll sit at this table and watch. That seems stupid.
I think I would go gorilla over going into the grizzly maze, like in Alaska, where they sit and watch them, pulling out salmon from the river. And
Neither
like,
are good idea.
like what Tim, whatever his name was.
The grizzly man?
Yeah, grizzly man.
That guy's an extreme example. But
But
I mean,
there's a lot of people that go there and, to get the photographs.
no thanks.
I'd take the gorillas over that.
If you told me right now there's a mountain lion in the parking lot, I'm not going outside. I don't care how majestic it is. You would.
I'm going to see it.
He's behind Brett's Lincoln.
Ooh, wildlife.
You would go out and do that. That's what we got to keep you at bay. You would go bother it.
There's a mountain lion in the parking lot. I wouldn't go out there.
I bet you would.
I'd open the door and yell.
But yet you'd consider hanging out with gorillas?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think because there's been people there so often.
He's in a parking lot. He's living in the
Yeah,
fifth
but he
largest
hasn't
city in
had,
America.
I know, but this place, they're sitting there. They've set up base there for a while. They're used to people.
Your argument
I
falls
don't know.
flat when one's standing in our parking lot.
it's not
You're right, I
Clyde
might
from
go out
any
in
which
the
way
mountain
but
lion,
loose.
but
I mean,
It's exactly. He's right. You think that they set up some African picnic tables and the gorillas are like, those are off limits. Meanwhile,
No, they're like,
because he's
yeah,
been around
they
people.
can hang out. They're no threat.
But a mountain lion that lives in the fifth largest city in America, you're like, he's still wild.
yeah,
Would you wear your jewelry to Africa?
I would go out there and remove it for the
Sure
for
you
the
would.
rest of the building.
You'd lasso it. We know you. You have your wedding ring on around
I'd
the gorillas?
Get a little thing of catnip. Just get that thing out of here.
You're an idiot. Stay home at all times.
I go out at night with my new binocs. Night vision gorillas.
Owl wars have not started
No,
yet.
good. Thank God. You know what's probably happening after you're in bed? Owls are pretty active late.
You're taking kids.
Yeah. The Pope. It's good to see all these emails coming in, everybody else hating the Pope with me. It's time we all got loud about hating that Pope. Especially coming down on folks with pets. Get out of my life, weirdo. Don't you have any kids? That's the last. I'll tell you this, and I know this isn't a politically correct statement. Any man in a dress that says, "Where are your children?" is a threat. I don't care what kind of dress. Any man wearing a gown saying, I think you should bring me your kids.
You
is
wore that
a-
kind of that Pope get up before.
Sure.
It felt pretty cool, didn't
But
it?
I didn't start wandering door to door saying, "Where are your kids?" Because that's a threat. Man in a dress asking for kids is danger.
Scoozy.
Yeah, excuse. Hi, I'm a man in a dress.
How many kids?
Where are your children? I'd like to see them. Yeah, no. Dude in a dress, not allowed to see the kids. I've gone so far as to not let anyone named Dale in my life see a child, and that's just because of Father Dale. If Hella strays around kids, I get nervous because I don't like Dales around kids. I learned the hard way. He didn't
No
touch
pun intended.
me. Yeah, well, not as hard as some of the kids learned it. Yeah, he was just sitting there just going, "Get him, get him, get him, get him, yeah, Jesus, yeah." That was Father Dale. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, a kid until he's sore. That was Father Dale.
Father Springsteen.
You think I'm wrong? Yeah.
No.
2, 3, 4. Father Dale is part of my life, and I'm glad for it because it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And most to be very loud towards that church. Skeptical. Not necessarily the religion, but the people running it, especially here in town, because it's a whole bunch of them still hanging around. The dude you knew did it. Remember the one in Chandler? Well, we saw him at that pizza place, and that guy was a prick. Remember you sat down with him? He said he was a jerk. He came in and sat down.
Father Jack.
Yeah, and then he got busted.
Yeah.
For touching.
Yep.
It was a ring.
I had a meeting with him. Sat down in his office.
How old were you?
I was 30.
Oh, you were safe. Okay. You're still small.
But he still
He was
thought
expired
I was
as far as the priest.
yeah.
But he thought I was a girl.
Sure.
First one. So
Hey, little
boy.
girl, you needed to shave.
I went in there, and it was the first time. Like, I disagreed with
With him.
the message.
Yeah.
On the.
Because he was a
And
prick.
I'm like, you know what? I just wanted to find out where he's coming from on this.
Yeah. And then later he got busted for shuffling, right? He was a shuffler.
He wanted a TV ministry, and there's some.
But he
some
got
things
busted
he
for
did. He
moving some
shuffled
folks
people.
about the kid thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all of them. They've got at least a century
It's
to clean that
Ghislaine
up.
Maxwell starting a new girls.
Right. We're mad at Jeffrey Epstein. We want him all dead and found out. And the church gets away with it. And then they have the balls to stand in a pedestal and say, bring me more kids. Like, are you kidding? You?
Epstein should have threw some more on the collection plate then.
Hey, Twitter world, how about some more blondes and cutlery? I'm in. No, OJ, you're not allowed to have it. Scott Peterson wants a new boat. No, you've ruined your boat life. You're not getting a boat. Casey Anthony wants a bigger trunk. No, not something you can say anymore. You're not allowed to have that. Jussie Smollett goes and tries to buy Clorox. Everybody's thinking, he's going to do it again. I need a rope. Jussie, have somebody do that for you. We all know what you're thinking. Jussie can't even go into Subway anymore. Yeah, when you do that, you're labeled, and it lasts forever, especially when you've done it for a millennia. Put that in your pocket, Pope dickhead. I'll fight him, Brady. That's my Logan Paul challenge. I'll fight the Pope in a boxing match. No problem with that. And I love my dogs. They're better than kids. Except they're on fireworks. That gets a little weird. That's your Brady Report, complete with a dismantling of the Catholic Society. It's 98 KUPD.
The best the world has to offer in music, drama, and comedy.
KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.